A very warm welcome back to you Monday morning on your Feel Good Breakfast show, Expresso on SABC3. We've got Dr. Eve in the house, and of course, as we do every Monday, we talk about relationships, and this morning in particular, infertility within the context of a relationship. Yeah. We've got our lines open on 0839133728, and earlier on we spoke to people on the street asking them what effect infertility can have on a relationship, and one of them said that they might actually even insist on not getting married, so it can be a deal breaker. Why?
Yeah, because of the shame to families, because of the expectation when people get together, the primary aim, and even though we're in the kind of 2016, there is still this belief that the purpose of marriage is to be able to reproduce and to carry on a family name. And there's a huge cultural pressure. This is one of the other factors that couples with emotions around infertility will tell you, that I feel the pressure of family and community to be able to conceive, and if I don't, there is this kind of black mark against me. And women and men take that on very seriously. So for a man to have a woman who's already marked with this stigma of not being able to have children, it could very well be a deal breaker for him in terms of future, because he sees that it would impede his future, and also it would bring shame upon him and pressure in the family. So what a lot of couples do, who when they find that they are infertile, they keep it secret. And they go, I mean, it's incredibly difficult for them that people will ask after a certain period of time, so when's the baby coming, or when are you going to fall pregnant? Wow. And unknowing that actually they are struggling and have been struggling for a year or much longer even to be able to have babies.
Have you found that women and men experience this differently? Yeah,
that's a great question. And indeed, research tells us that men and women do experience this differently. So men take it way more personally if they find that they're part of the 1/3 that actually have physiological reasons why they have bad sperm production, or their sperm just isn't good enough, or they don't swim fast enough. And they take it very personally and feel completely what's called impotent. And there's research on looking at the sexual consequences, because this is one of the devastating effects of infertility, is that sexual dysfunctions will begin to occur. And with men who find that they have got infertility problems, they have got a high incidence of erectile dysfunction, and they also have a high incidence of low desire to actually want to be sexual. So they're kind of trapped in that space. For women, the consequences will be immediately the guilt and the shame that they feel, but a lower incidence of sexual dysfunction. But put a couple together and try and fall pregnant, and I think we're going to talk about that, the different ways of falling pregnant today, that there is such a negative impact on their sexuality.
So having this understanding, how can partners then better support each other through this, so that we don't end up in a situation where this news leads to a deal breaker kind of situation?
Absolutely. So the thing is to understand that, first of all, for listeners who are, for viewers who are with us today, is that don't get panicked within the first year. So what the rule of thumb is, if you haven't fallen pregnant within the first year, it's okay, because a lot of anxiety is generated, and that can be quite inhibiting for the body as well. So only after the first year, if you've been trying for a first year, and I'm going to come back to the point of trying for the first year, should you then consult a gynecologist or a specialist gynecologist around infertility. So absolutely get through the blame and the shame. Find out after your year, you go through your tests and you find out, well, this is the reason why. It could be an old infection that he had. It could be anything that has happened. Get rid of the blame and shame, and then work together as a couple. Really be strong around that. And also be very clear around how to try for a baby so that it doesn't impact on your intimate relationship. Because that's where it really begins to hurt. When you have the sex on demand, it's like, I'm ovulating, we have to be sexual now. Call him up at home, come home, this is the right time, we have to be sexual now.
We're going to continue this conversation shortly. Remember that our lines are open, 0839133728. But we do keep in touch with, of course, health and medical topics right now, and innovation that is changing lives. Leanne?